And we're back yet again to talk about superhero time this week. I am Sleepy Witch, joined by,
DJ Azure, the 2.5D here, TalkTuber.
and as always, we have one thing we want to talk about. We want to start with the Gozyuger opening.
Oh my god.
So we got a dance opening, and we
They
got a dance
incorporate the
opening.
dance, yeah.
Yep.
They incorporated dance into the fight, and like there are just so many things. Like we basically have what you were saying was like what P Bandai exclusive
Cardboard cutouts. I could
Yeah,
imagine it. I could imagine it. Ugh.
like if there's one thing I really love about this too is that like with the cardboard cutouts, with just like the little like pan over like the team itself, you get an idea of just every single one of their personalities
Yep.
immediately.
It's so good and it's so clear, and then we get the pan over where we see all of them real quick.
Yeah.
Uh, and then obviously the we get like a little dance sequence for the bad guys too, which I think looks great. And then
Yeah.
probably my favorite is the piece de resistance is the dance sequence in the middle where like we're switching between being in suit, out of suit, and like all of the background locations are changing rapidly
Yeah.
as we do the
Oh.
big like team like rotation on like who's in front. Oh,
Mhm.
that's so cute and that's so good. And I also love seeing the landlady and her son join in. And I love that it gets technically we get to see it at the end of the episode too. But I love that like the setup of like we have the Omu rice with the fucking Tegasword hand.
Yeah.
Um, but I
Oh
love
man.
that into them hiding behind their cardboard cutouts and then coming out, and then we get the like Fortnite emote part of the dance. That is
Everyone
funny.
keeps calling it a Fortnite emote.
Dude, it really does just look like that Fortnite emote. It really does. That's just what
Yeah.
it is. This
Oh
is the
man.
setup into the Fortnite collab. We're gonna have
If
to
it
become
ever.
Fortnite streamers when that
No,
happens.
no, no. I already tried playing Apex Legends when Geats came out. No, I'm not.
No, but it's different. If Gozu Red was in there, we would have to. I think so. At least once, you know?
Maybe once, just
All
once.
right. But anyway, we got the setup for this episode. First, like I guess big thing to talk about that I think it's interesting. It looks like we might not get like giant monster forms.
Yeah, I was like wondering about that. Yeah, like I was so like I said last week, I'm basically just wondering how they were going to like balance out the previous Sentai fights, the fight against Bridan, and of course the fight against like the actual like robot fights, and like this episode was
This
super cool about it
this
because like
episode was like, let's do it
yeah.
all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, like oh man. Okay, so I know you didn't watch it yet, but there's one specific episode of Cure Major, or two specific episodes that were actually directed by an Ultraman actor, where you actually get to like see like some fights on the ground, but you also get the sense of scale where like there's like the giant robot fight happening. Like this episode basically had that, like just basically like switching back and forth and basically bounced out all the fighting at once. So yeah,
Yeah.
like it's really showing off like the strength of having each of the members have their own Tegasword.
Yep. We're also going to talk about like the big thing is like the kind of like episode structure that we're at least starting with, which
Mhm.
is the fact that like okay, the like quote unquote monsters are like the citizens for no one. All of them are number one at something, and you have to challenge them to some sort of like challenge. There's like a game to it. So
Yeah.
this guy's the number one treasure hunter, so you have to do like a treasure hunt challenge instead of just a straight up fight.
Mhm.
Which I like. Also, incredible introductions for Gozyu Tarano and Gozyu Leon.
Oh
Uh,
my god.
just the like they're about to start the fight. Okay. Also, the setup of him trying to find a job at the beginning of every episode.
Yeah.
Now, that might be his thing. It's gonna be like Mira had a different job episode. This guy's gonna be looking for a different job every episode. Uh,
Yeah.
but the setup of the no ones take over people, and it got took over the landlady, so he's here to save her, and then just Tirana comes in with the fucking grand piano.
Yeah, and starts singing a song
Oh,
about
holy Tega sword! I just the like amen, and also be may the Tega sword be with you.
Yeah, oh my god, I was not expecting him to be that funny. Oh man.
I kind of was. My expectations were met, honestly. Uh,
Yeah, he is just absolutely unhinged about it.
and then Blue
Um,
starts his song, and it's like, I'll let people, you know, you can tell people you met me. I understand.
yeah. Also talking about Blue, the shots of Junya Ikeda, Gokai Silver.
Yeah, the him like scamming the fans, that was cute. That by the end he gave it back.
Yeah,
Uh, Man,
but
just in general, such a cool setup for the episode. We start them all doing the treasure hunt. I love that he decides to just start digging in the ground with the Tegasword, and then we
yeah,
see how ridiculously strong Tyranno is.
yeah. Like what the heck? Yeah, just ripping trees out and all that stuff.
I kind of like it. You know, Gozu Wolf is weirdly fast. This guy's weirdly strong. I know we're supposed to have known what the other guys are, but I don't know yet, so we'll figure that out as we see.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, we have the former idol and all that stuff. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens with them. But
I
yeah, like
also like the dynamic that it's like they're like, oh, we already teamed up because we know this is a battle royale. We'll deal with ourselves later.
yeah. But I mean, like, what's also great too is that we get to see Wolf, like be really sweet, like saying it's like, oh, what kind of treasure do you have here? And it's like it's like, oh, it's a rice ball for my mom, and then shares it. It's like, oh,
It's so cute. I do love him and the kid being like good little friends and like him having a good relationship. And like obviously he has a good relationship with the landlady. She's asking him for the rent every time, but like she could just kick him out.
yeah,
But she hasn't.
exactly.
You know, there's like a little bit of that, like, okay, go get the rent, do your best.
Yeah, I mean, and also thing too is that like he actually is actively searching for jobs, which is like something
Yep.
that yeah. Oh man,
I love that
but yeah,
setup. I love the setup of him borrowing the vase. That was so, dude. When it was happening, and I didn't know he was gonna return it at the end of the episode. I'm like, oh, is this guy gonna be like a scumbag? Scumbag. He's like, I just want to be able to sing in the future, so I'm
yeah.
gonna need the money for my operation, and like having to write it all out, and the old people just being like, oh, Chun, all we want to see you return to that stage. Oh my god, dude. I was like losing it. And then when he's like, thank you. Oh, thank you. Like, it's so corny, but in like a way that I really liked. Uh
Yeah.
we got the second fighting game combo.
Oh,
I like that we're not filming them all just straight from the left. I like that we're taking a little bit more of like a slanted view for this one as well.
yeah.
And the
Um,
finisher into the claw to save her was super cool.
yeah, we had that. Also, we got to see like kind of like how we had the kind of like cape usage for Kogata Oger. We get to see Wolf use not Wolf. We get to see Leon use the boom boom like wing wheels, which is like what the heck? It's like how are they so imaginative with all these powers? Like they're just like really just messing around with everything they could.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good vibe. It is so interesting just seeing a blue turn into a red and just knowing they're all turning into reds.
Yeah.
That's another good shot in the opening, just like them and all the reds like reaching for the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good opening, such a good song. Uh,
Yep. And then
but also
and
the Tyranno pile driver in the mech,
yep.
so
Yeah.
sick.
But
Also,
also, but also, let's also just talk about the villain this episode. Like, sure, it was just just technically just another. I wouldn't. I can't even say nameless. It actually like
yeah, he
the
was Cassius.
yeah, he was Cassius, and not only that, like the fact that Fire Candle, like everyone loves Fire Candle,
It's
like
so funny. I love that he actually has like a good relationship with them. And then
yeah,
like also when he died, he had his own little frame picture, like his own little Polaroid picture of him. He's like, Cassius, no. It was so silly in such a good way. Uh
yeah,
I also like that when they start the fighting, Tyranno asks Leon, like, hey, should we help him? And he's like, I mean, I don't want to let an idiot like this go yet.
yeah.
Such a good setup. And
But yeah,
to finish it off with the like, hey, we know where you live. Also, we're working at the cafe now.
yeah, that was hilarious seeing yeah, seeing
It's
them
so
work.
good, and it
But yeah,
leads
like
into that setup of what I was
but yeah,
talking.
freaking
Just
Toronto, man. Just
yeah,
just Toronto this episode.
he was great, and I love the like, hey, where's my rat? It's like, guys, what did we do with the treasure? Obviously, I returned it to the police, and I returned what I borrowed. plus an autograph, which was really cute. I love that he did like a gigantic ass autograph. Like he must have found like a giant Sharpie pen for that.
Yup.
But like, I'm gonna be honest. What this reminded me, especially for like Tono, is a very like Spider-Man kind of vibe of like, I did it, I saved the day, and hey, I probably found what I needed. Oh nope, the everything's ending, and like I don't have enough money to pay rent. Bye, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah.
and then the next episode preview. Oh my god, the Prime Minister is Momotaro.
The Prime Minister is Momotaro, and we're getting another we're getting another Toku alum.
Yep.
I believe they're an Ultraman this time. I forgot which one they were.
The thing is, I don't remember which Ultraman he was, but the really important thing for like the bit is that apparently he was an Ultraman who was really obsessed with Ultraman Taro.
Oh, is that so?
I saw people talking about that, where he was like Ultraman. I don't know if it was like Belial or something. I don't remember. But the whole bit was that he apparently had an unhealthy obsession with Ultraman Taro. Which, fantastic, great. We're going to look to be the #1 popularity next time.
Yeah, which also works out because this also is the Green debut episode as well too.
Yep. And also, secondary thing, sorry, I forgot to say, the like King Oger Mitsuzune, like that storyline was not resolved this episode.
It was not.
I think all of us were assuming that like, okay, we're gonna deal with him this episode and then just move on. But he like leaves and it's like, I'm gonna come back and deal with you later. Like, damn.
Yeah.
It's
man, I remember seeing a tweet. It was like, yeah, this man gave 48 episodes and 2 extra episodes, and he's like, I am out. Just walks off. Yeah,
until he needs to come back later. But the other big thing, I really like how we're giving like some extra stuff to the other universe warriors. Like when he's Kugogata Oger, he's carrying around the guitar. When we have the Prime Minister's Momotaro, he's got the like Prime Minister sash on.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a cool vibe. Aesthetically, I've been really liking it. I've been having a lot of fun, and excited to see where it continues. But speaking about a lot of fun, last week's episode of Red Ranger in Another World. I know this week's was very exciting, but I have not been able to get to that yet. We will probably be a week behind. It's just my schedule right now. I can only watch it after we record, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The setup of like, I find it so funny that you were telling me about that one girl from Kira Major that everyone really liked.
Yeah.
And then the immediate, Eudora, and then the next episode is like the what was her name? The like magic counselor lady.
Yeah.
Who is very clearly based on like at least that archetype of character, and even has like the little eye tattoo and everything. To the point where it's like, okay, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, like the main highlight of this episode is the fact that we basically learned that mana crystals
mana metal is like the same thing as bond energy.
Yeah, and it's really funny too. Like, it's actually really, really cute because, like, you just with it's like thinking in the bath, like thinking about it's basically just like thinking about Red, and just like summons him by accident.
And I love that he got like emergency summoned on his side, like oh, emergency, bye.
Yeah. Oh man. And then we just hear Bongatai, like, what was it, just Bongatai, like, constantly.
Dude, that was so good. Yeah. I love that. I love how that happened in the manga as well. The like bond change was used as like the like, hey, did you guys Bongatai? Oh my god, you guys absolutely Bongatai. Like, it was so dumb, but like perfect. And I'm watching it with a friend, and he hasn't watched a lot of Sentai. He's not like a Sentai dude. He's mainly watching it to watch it with me. And even he started like laughing right at that one. I love the setup of like some of the tropes we're playing with. I love the setup of like him being like, maybe you should, and her immediately like not letting him finish his statement and running off.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a Sentai thing to happen. But for it to be cleared up like literally like one chase sequence later.
Yeah.
Which also fantastic vibe of like the chase sequence of her and the broom and him in the mech. Just like
Yeah.
As always, continuing through, I like that she's resolved to like take the good things out of the system because, you know, she did have some points about like, hey, if just random ass magic items are out there, people can get hurt. So they're not painting her as like wholly evil, or at least not yet, you know. As I'm watching this as an anime, like I'm not passing the manga until I pass that point in the anime. So like I don't know, maybe she will be, but in general, fairly enjoyable.
Mhm.
There's something
Yeah,
so
like
incredibly funny about
yeah, it's
him. Mhm.
yeah, like no, like yeah, like this show is just really funny because like you know just seeing all of these tropes like you know being used in this era and oh my god,
And I
it's just
love
it's
seeing
like
the flashbacks to the Kizuna 5 like series or whatever, where it's just like, oh man, this is how we, you know, got stuff done all the time. And I love seeing all of them at like their regular jobs or doing other stuff and then having to
yeah.
be forced to be warm. I loved seeing like Pink, who was still like a high school student, being like, oh man, I had after school plans. And it was like Yellow and Blue who were just at their jobs and continuing their job phone calls even when they got teleported.
Yep.
I don't know. Good setups as always. Continuing just like a fun, cheesy vibe.
Yep. And man,
Talking about
it's like yeah, like and like you yeah, the problem about you it's like the funny thing about you being behind is that you still see what's happening technically, or at least the highlights of the current week's episode
on Twitter a
on
little bit,
Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah, so like man,
But we'll talk about that next week.
yeah, we'll have to talk about that next week.
I think it's only 12 episodes, so we're already getting to that halfway point.
Yep, yeah, because this was episode 6, so yeah, next week we'll talk about episode 7.
Yep. And you know, we'll finish the first season. Hopefully we'll get another one. But another great episode of Gavv this month. Or this I would say this month, this week.
Yep.
Oh my god. First of all, I can't. But I saw people talking about. I saw the pictures of Honto before this episode, and I'm like, did they just douse this man in octopus ink?
And
Yes, it turns out, yeah, that's actually just legitimately the answer to that question.
Yep.
Man.
And he wasn't able to transform until he uses that bitter chocolate. And
yep.
Oh man, so it looks like yeah, looks like we know where our berserk form is coming this week. This season.
Yeah, kind of. I do really like the setup of his friend set him up, but his friend was also like, this was a dumb prank. Don't worry about it. Don't be too mad. And then gets immediately spiced.
Yeah, immediately.
Again, another kind of banger design on the Granute side. The octopus Granute looked insane, kind of.
Yeah, I love octopi. Like octopi are actually my favorite animal. So
nice.
like so seeing this one, I'm like hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, he has to use the bitter chocolate, which, by the way, I love that the bitter chocolate has the like evil little Chunibyo eye. I'm gonna be honest, I saw people talking about this on Twitter just so we're talking about the Honto part of this episode. Like, people are saying that they assume, and I thought about this too, but I saw a lot of people talking about it, that they think that the bitter chocolate is laced with dark treat.
Yeah,
and especially
if that's the case,
because Suga knows all this shit and knows about his mentor like disappearing and being a half. People are like, he's feeding him his own mentor, or at least half of him. Or because
that'd
like
be screwed up if it's true.
Yeah, that'd be fucked. Also, like they're just giving him the laced candy, because I think we've been talking about how like, oh man, it's gonna be possible that maybe like Gavv is gonna have to eat a dark candy to like get a boat power up or something, and it's gonna be like a whole thing. The like, oh no, it might be Honto.
Yeah,
who might be eating
like,
a dark candy. That's
exactly,
fucked, dude.
And not only that, I mean, like, you know, he actually says in the episode preview, like, saying, "Oh, these make me stronger. I can handle things on my own." And I'm like, "Oh no,
oh no, he's gonna get addicted to power."
Yeah. Oh man.
And the powerful drugs in there.
Yeah, I mean, but talk about power despite not having actual power. Let's talk about Sachika actually helping out in the fight.
I mean, here's the thing. That's kind of the end of the episode. I want to talk about starting this episode with just the like, dude, everyone figures out. I love this series. This series, everyone is so smart. Just the like, Sachika on the phone with Hanto. It's like, you're the other Kamen Rider, aren't you? And he's like, Did he tell you that? No, but like that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Sachika is being so good, and I hate right now that all of the discourse on Twitter is like, well, she doesn't need to be a writer to be a good character, and it's like, no, but it's cool, and the only way that like Toei is really gonna give that much of a shit about her as like, you know, getting merch and getting other stuff is if she's a writer or a villain, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and making sure that, you know, if she does get her own driver, it's not locked behind P Bandai.
Oh my god, dude, it's going to be, and I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, like everyone, like everyone just gets flashback to the Majay driver, like
Ah,
ah. Like, yeah,
crying.
I didn't even get the Alchemist link because I wasn't sure if I could even get it. Like,
Yep. Yep. I might see if I can buy it secondhand at some point. You know, that'll be a future me thing, but no,
yeah,
as a general rule, just like we want them to be writers because, you know, why shouldn't they be? And like there's
yeah. Like how does it take away from them? Like
yeah.
they just get to be more active in the show. It's that's what we want.
Yep. And again, like sometimes I feel like, you know, Toei has like really missed like opportunities for characters who were obviously like really suited for it to just
Mhm.
not. I for the longest time assumed Misora from Build was gonna get rider powers. Like
I
she
did not expect her to get rider powers
again,
myself.
this was an early one, but from like the like her whole bit is that she has powers related to the bottles and can is the only one who can
Fair enough.
purify them. And I'm like, okay, she obviously has room to grow this power and eventually use a driver, like in a different way that the other two do. And then she never did. I was like, well, and when I was
Yeah.
talking to my friend, he's like, basically just be ready for a lot of female characters to be like that.
Yeah, like I think the biggest one, like the one that's kind of started off all of this was Kiriko from Drive. Like Kiriko is like Kiriko like just like throws down and fights like cuz but like out like in uniform, but she doesn't get to be a rider and everyone gets angry because like there's actually like a scene where she tries the driver on and is not compatible with it. So it made like it's like man, why couldn't she have been one? Like I think it really started with Kiriko. Like
Oh,
everyone
I
wanted
can
her to
I
be
can
a
assume,
rider.
especially because again, if you set someone up so well to do it, then just don't. Like, here's the thing: I will be actually pretty pissed, and Gab will go down like with a sour taste if she doesn't become a writer by the end, because you set her up in the opening, man. Like, you set up an opening where three of the main characters have this little thing that goes, your character goes here, your writer art goes here, and you set
Mm-hmm.
one up for her. And if she doesn't get a writer for him, I'm like, why would you even do that? It's just like false advertising.
Yeah. Oh man. Yep. And yeah, and it's still blank in the opening, and like
Yep.
we see unfortunately, like we're all expecting Lakia to die.
Oh, but let's not
For
even talk about. Oh no, I'm so sad about that. But here's the thing: with
like
that opening, it would be the same as if we just had like the landlady during the fucking dance sequence where they're in the suits or whatever. She's just also there dancing, and it's like, okay, so she's gonna get a suit then, right? Because she's in the suit part of the. And it's like, no,
yeah.
okay, cool. But yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I saw a picture. I think it's a screenshot from like the next episode. Because the funniest thing about Lakia is he managed to escape this evil company, only to be kidnapped by this girl and be given a different job.
I saw people talking about that.
Bro was ready to not work, and I saw some people. I don't know if they're like fans or just not fans of like them of like him and wanting, but I saw some people being like, I saw one tweet and it's like, motherfuckers be like, need Rocky to stay away from Sachika. Bro, I don't think he even wants to be there. She just decided to keep him. Lamo, y'all see in this face, and it's just them standing next to each other in the happy para uniforms, and she's just smiling and he's just like deadpan like
Yeah. Oh man. Well, like I just realized we were talking about all this and we didn't even talk about Sorbet.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That's the highlight. That's the end of this. Uh, the setup for Lakia coming back. The setup for Lakia coming by to like just kill Shoma's uncle.
Yeah. Uh,
Oof.
oh
And like
man.
the uncle being like, "Yep, I made a terrible choice. I do probably deserve to die. Please take care of Shoma." And then he just kind of like softens, seeing that he's kind of changed a bit. Which I like that. I like kind of getting the background of like, I should have stood up to my brother, but I just honestly didn't think about it. And like, it kind of weighs on me, and I like seeing that, you know, Shoma, the next generation, is kind of standing up to him.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, and
which,
then and then basically like gives him a bag of snacks, like saying, "Hey, you should try this too."
yep. I also like, I've been seeing theories about it with Sorbet. He's got like the horns, and now people are saying maybe his little horns are more like ram horns,
Hmm.
just like his older brother and his dad. And people are saying, because apparently, you know, you could be any animal in the granite or the stomach family, but it's apparently only the goats or the rams that get to be like heads of the family. And so
Mm.
Shoma with the goat, if he's actually like a goat granite, would also be someone who like quote unquote could like be in charge of the family.
I didn't actually see that. I didn't actually see that part of the discussion actually.
Yeah, I've seen people talking about that because especially with the sorbet, with his little horns like separated and with the like cone texturing, people are like, oh, they look like he has ram's horn. And again, this is the form where I'm telling you he looks the most like his family because the ice cream cone opens in the triangle the same way their belts do
Hmm.
for their disguises. So it's
Yeah,
just
you were saying
like,
that. Yeah, you were saying that last week.
yep. And so we're
Hmm.
getting the like, oh, maybe he's quote unquote one of the other rightful heirs, and so that's a whole thing going on there. Uh, But okay,
Yeah.
we have Sorbet, which I love Sachika breaking into the truck and being like putting money down. It's an emergency, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he has ice powers. I mean, it was kind of expected, but I mean, like he has ice powers. Like his sword turns to ice. Honestly, I love this suit because of the. It's okay. I think I just like the suit because it has like the twin tails in the back, the
Yeah,
coat.
I'm a big fan of kind of like the trench coat look for the suit
Yeah.
sometimes, where they got the little twin tails in the back. They look
Hmm.
really good. The suit looks great. I like that the ice powers, like he's got like ice wave, he's got other things. I adore the fact that like he has to keep re-upping the ice on the sword, and after like a couple of tries, he can get like a winner,
Hmm.
like the ice
Yeah.
cream winner. That's so cute. That's such a neat way to like have the snack motif, because you know
Hmm.
it's not the like ice cream bars that you buy at home that have those winner tabs. Usually it's the ones you buy individually when you're out at like a, you know, buying a single thing from like a snack place.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's so cute, and that being like the setup for like, you know, the power up attack, very cute.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep.
And you
And
know, this leads into more Lakia, you know, looking up at him being like, you know, he's continuing to change and be strong.
yeah. Oh man. But yeah, and after that, like and unlike the cake, it melts away. So like he has to re-up this in a different way.
Yep. Yep. So it does melt away, which makes sense for the kind of Gochizo it is. I just thought it would be eternal the way the cake was, but
Hmm.
it is what it is. Old man lives forever. I don't think we talked about this, but the other time he fought Bitter Gavv and Gavv took the Gochizos, I think those Gochizos got sent to hell. We've seen Gochizo heaven, but now we also know that Bitter Gavv can send them to hell because we saw that guy melt and be like dragged below. What the fuck?
Ah.
Why do Gochizos go to hell?
I'm really sad that the Gochizo Memorial doesn't exist anymore. I would have loved to see what they would say, what they would say
Ah,
about this.
maybe it's time. Maybe we need to set up a secondary Twitter account.
Yeah, our own Gochizo Memorial.
Yeah.
Uh,
'Cause,
uh,
well,
but
hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully it's just going to be a Gochizo Memorial, and we don't have to add any main characters to it. Uh,
But
but
yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait for more of these shows. Like
Oh my god.
Gojuger. I'm like like I really wonder what else they can do, because like it is definitely not a traditional Sentai. Like
And
it
it's
is
and
definitely
it's
not being
it's got
traditional.
me hyped. It's got energy. We've got, again, like I said, looks like we're gonna have mech fights instead of traditional like big monster fights, because even in this one, we like you said, like we were talking about, they had all three fights at once. We had them fighting the goons, fighting the actual big bad monster, and fighting the mech, because it was someone else piloting it. It looks like it's always gonna be mech themed, which, you know, I guess makes sense. It's like, oh, one last thing we didn't talk about Gozyuger, their queen. The Brydens have a queen who awakened, but also she's another like big mech. And I'm just wondering, how are you related to Tegasword Lady? How are you related? Is this, and again, this is my theory based on the fact that, you know, this is a lady mech, like a lady themed mech, but also the fact that Bryden is just themed off being like a bridal organization. Did the
Yep.
Tegasword leave his wedding? Is this why she's pissed?
Oh man, I just realized, I just realized we're talking about Gozyuger, and we're not even talking about what is it, Miss. We didn't even talk about Mr. and Miss Sweetcake or whatever.
Oh, they
their
were
names
very cute. I like the vibe of them being like one creature, but like both of them.
Yeah,
It's
they loved
another
each
good
other
design.
so much they merged. Yeah,
Yep,
it's crazy.
very cute. But again, bridal organization. So I'm just like, what did you do, Tegasword?
Yeah,
Squints eyes at you.
Yeah, like what was it? Maybe the calamity, or maybe the calamity it was the bride. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, there's questions here, but yeah, no, like you were saying, Gozyuger's full of so much energy. Red Ranger is just like fun homages and callbacks, and Gavv has just been like an interesting story about like grief and trust and not having trust and losing people
Yeah,
and trying to
and
protect. Oof.
and from what I saw, like what is it? I think part 2 ends on episode 26. You were saying last week, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, and then this was episode 24. So, oh man, is are we about to see Lakia death in 2 episodes?
I
Oh,
hope
wait.
not. I
Okay,
hope not.
okay. My theory for 2 weeks from now. My theory is that Lakia is gonna die to bring Hanto back to his senses, because Hanto's gonna fall way too in. Like we are gonna find out that yes, the dark streets were part of Bitter Choco, and Lakia is just gonna essentially die to calm him down.
All right, I'm gonna hope that doesn't happen. My wild guess is going to be Jeeb return for the end of the arc. I don't have any other thoughts. Here's the thing: I saw people talking about like complaining about Jeeb not being around. It's like Jeeb will come back when Jeeb will, is relevant again. I am curious to see what they're doing in the background, them and Nielv as well. But like, so much is happening. I can completely understand why it's hard to fit. Like, what is Jeeb doing? Also, incredibly funny bit that when Lakia shows up to Sachika's house is like, this place is so bright. What the fuck? She's like, you don't like the way I decorate?
And then starts calling him Lakian.
Yep. I love her. She's so cute. And
Yeah.
like you said, ride or die. She was willing to try to fight Bitter Gavv with just like a little spatula thing.
Yep, exactly.
Fantastic. But with that, we will talk to you guys next week. As always, thank you for listening. We will see you later.
Later.
This program is brought to you by
Our unending love of tokusatsu.
If you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe.
And hit the bell for notifications. And if you would like to support us further, consider becoming a patron at our Patreon, Half Hour Henshin.
You can get some exclusive benefits, such as your name in the credits and joining our sticker club. Or, if you want to help with a one-time donation,
you can also find us at Ko-fi at Half Hour Henshin. You can email us with any questions or theories at halfhourhenshin@gmail.com or on Twitter at halfhourhenshin.